Welcome to a muzzled chat. Now, I have a couple special ladies on the line here, and we are basically doing our first breaking news episode. So I might even dial out the tunes here, but we'll just say, welcome to the new America, folks. This is, I want to say a joke, but it's not. This is an extremely serious, and I started getting calls mere hours ago from multiple people. So, with great concern. So, with that being said, ladies, welcome to a muzzled chat, and let's share with the listeners what you experienced today.
Well, thank you, James. We're very concerned. We're small business owners, and never in my life have heard so many different clients coming in and concerned about their neighborhoods. We all live in the North Scottsdale area,
Mm-hmm.
and we're being alerted all day long about break-ins and burglaries and robberies in the north part of Scottsdale.
Wow.
And it's very close to home, and I've never seen more women frightened as they are. And all my life, I've never heard of such stories where, the Scottsdale police are now aware of it. Over 21 homes have been broken into and burglaries are happening.
Right.
The crime in North Scottsdale, and it's, targeted affluent neighborhoods, and it's just it's getting frightening. And they've noticed 4 to 6 men in neighborhoods casing with black hoodies on, and they look very out of place.
Wow.
And my daughter did see a couple of them last week, and we knew they didn't belong
Right.
in the neighborhood. So my daughter's asked me to stay with her. We've asked my son, who lives nearby. We want the family gathered. It's very unsettling. We want to make sure we have our weapons in the home. And like I said, I have never in my life have heard multiple clients in one day talk about their fear for their safety, and it's getting frightening.
Not only that, I was working on a client, and she kept getting alert after an alert of these men walking past these homes and looking into cars. And not only that, the Village DC Ranch area, a bunch of break-ins in the cars in the parking lot as well.
So we just want people to be aware that this is happening. And I don't know, it is. There was something on the news, I think, a little snippet this morning about home invasions, but it's getting very, very unsettling and uncomfortable.
I don't believe enough people are in the know. And it's like what we knew what was going to happen with open borders, with people invading this country that don't like us, don't have the means really any infrastructure. So whether or not it's illegals or just, adolescent punks, I guess it's to be determined. It seems like you pulled up an article where things had happened before from foreigners in the area, and this was kind of reminiscent to those reports. But
correct, very similar crimes.
Right.
And they said there could possibly be a tie-in to this. So they're encouraging the neighbors. So just look out for each other. I mean, dinner time.
Right.
This is when they're kind of keeping an eye on our homes, and they're watching how people are coming and going. And
wow.
So it's definitely something that we're just not used to in our day-to-day life.
That is extremely frustrating. Like, we shouldn't, in this country, are you kidding me? Like, you got to worry about your animals at home when you're gone. God forbid, you have, teenage children left at home while you're running out to a store or something, because it seems as though a lot of these reports, it's not like they're hitting homes in the middle of the night. It's more so around dinner time when people, so it's kind of like they're strategically casing out homes as you leave.
And it doesn't matter if you lived in a guarded community or not, because they're coming in into those neighborhoods too.
Yep.
So it's very unsettling and and it's such a violation, but it's just nobody's safe. And like I said, never in my life have I ever heard of these safe neighborhoods feeling so unsafe. And over 21 thefts and burglaries, robberies.
21 Scottsdale homes hit by thieves. Yeah.
Yep.
Around dinner time.
Yep.
That is
4 and 7. Yep.
Wow. Well, definitely keep your guard up. I'll be talking to you guys here shortly and trying to give you some tips and tricks. Like
wonderful.
This is
but we just think people need to know. And if James, if this platform and Unmuzzled Chat can get the word out, let people know it's just not up here in North Scottsdale. It's going to be in a neighborhood near you soon.
Well, if we could prevent one home from, dealing with a level of violation or theft or, God forbid, bodily harm or threat of any of these invaders, obviously, that's where it's just better to be safe than sorry. And obviously, there's a lot of like precautionary steps that could be taken during these times, because the sad truth of it is, in my eyes, it's only gonna get worse.
Absolutely.
Like as the invasion continues, and like so many of the people, I mean, it's not even just the invaders either. I mean, if we look at the economy and the dollar collapsing and hyperinflation and how hard things are getting across the board, I feel like this type of thing, unfortunately, is just beginning. So we just need to take precautionary steps to ensure the safety of our loved ones, our assets, our hard-earned everything,
Yeah, and James, it's happening, between 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m.
Wow. So right now, it seems like Scottsdale's kind of on high alert. They've put out more officers and units.
Yes, they are increasing the presence up here in this area. But I mean, like I said, it could be anywhere.
But this is what happens when we open our borders, guys.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It is crazy. But like you said, it could be in anybody's neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
when is enough enough?
Yeah.
Well, this is getting very frightening for.
Well, the burglars will definitely catch on to it. They're going to push into other neighborhoods. It just kind of goes without saying. So whether you're in the immediate North Scottsdale area or not, it's still important to take these steps. And if you see suspicious behavior, you see someone walking around or a group of guys walking around with their hoods up and masks on, and they're just not associating, or you don't recognize them, like just know that the local police officers are there to take calls, even in dispatch, for suspicious behavior. You could say, look, I don't know if this is anything. I just didn't recognize these individuals. They're covering their faces. I just don't know if they're up to what they're up to. You could report it, and you never know what that could lead to. But it's always better to be safe than sorry with these.
It has been reported that there's a certain look. They're in black hoodies, and they've been casing homes. They're slowly cruising the streets. They're loitering in the washes. They're looking for easy targets and empty homes.
Right.
But they're just saying everybody be village. Just be on guard and be extra cautious. And hopefully we can deter some of the crime.
So some of the security systems, even like the ring bells you guys got, you were getting alerts off of?
As we were working on some of the customers that were in there, they were getting alerts on their ring.
Wow.
A good friend of mine down the street, that's where I told my mom, like, I need you to stay with me. Contacted my brother, like, I think you're going to have to stay at my house because I just feel extremely unsafe.
Too close around here that the home invasions. But you know what? We just hope they catch the perpetrators soon.
to feel threatened in your own home where it's supposed to be a place of peace, you reside and you can lay your head at night and recoup from your long days and get back to, like, this is like, our quality of life is obviously going down the tube. Like, we shouldn't feel like we're living in a war zone.
It's very unsettling.
Yeah. Well, I hope this ends up short-lived and that we can obviously clean house, politically speaking, and gain back our country to where this isn't the world we live in, you know. So hey, thank you so much, ladies, for your time and sharing your experience today. Cause
crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Absolutely.
No,
We just felt like we had a need to say something, just, and you could get the word out, whatever, on your platform, but just people to be aware.
Right. Well,
gotta look out for one another.
Thank you, James.
No, 100%. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. I look forward to chatting with you here soon, and yeah, we'll talk.
We'll give you updates.
All right. Bless you, gals. Stay safe.
Bless you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Unbelievable, folks. Oh, we got turn that mic off. This is insane. This current puppet Biden establishment, in my eyes, is acting out in treasonous behavior. They have one job to protect the citizens of this nation. And with what they're doing with the border is not that. In fact, what they've been trying to do with Texas and taking that kind of mild stance and putting up wire, they're literally more so actively taking action against the safety and sovereignty of we the people. The fact, like, we're not abolishing this and getting them out and replaced yesterday, I don't understand it. How bad does it need to get? Clearly, there's even worse situations that have been happening, like the gentleman that's no longer with us that was in his own bed. We actually have more specifics on that story and individuals that are tied to it, and it just hits too close to home. So the moral of this situation and kind of breaking news update is just don't get caught with your pants down. Get prepared. Like, there's family meetings you ought to have and preparations in certain situations, like what to do. Because when you just, those situations happen, especially if, God forbid, you're half asleep, if you haven't pre-thought like a course of action, then what are you going to do? So it's better to plan and prepare and strategically place things that can put up barriers. I'm a big, avid 2A firearm advocate, practice frequently, and it goes beyond just knowing the ins and outs of operating to even protect yourself with knowledge legally. God forbid a situation like this were to occur. How would you handle it with calling it in, the interaction with the officers? It's just best to, given the gravity, if you're in a life-threatening situation and it leads to the use of a firearm, to request for a lawyer. I want to speak to my lawyer. Just be a broken record, because the reality of the gravity of that situation, the officers in that situation, as friendly as they are, they're not necessarily your friend. Like, they could in fact be your friend in that situation, but there will be an assigned prosecutor. This will probably end up in some type of courts. Your your firearm, more than likely will be confiscated for evidence. And so there's a lot of preparation and things to do that is just, it's wise. But to get trained up on things, and then there's also less lethal options with, sprays. I don't know. Because the reality of it is, if you bring anything less to a gunfight than another gun, like, that isn't going to end well for you. It's just not. So, yeah, I recommend 2A all the way. But looking into the legality, the use, but once again, to walk through these scenarios. But neighborhood watches, yeah, it's recommended to just up the communication with the people right there in your neighborhood and work on those relationships. So we can more so avoid these calamities and horrific situations. It's just like pinch me. This is the world we're living in, and something tells me it's only going to get worse before it gets better. But thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. I mean, it's just the world we live in, so let's do what we can. I don't want to hear from anyone, especially those close to me, ending up a victim of such horrific, gosh dang. Love you guys. Stay tuned. Look forward to talking soon.